Alright, I'm going to show y'all how to put the bolt back together. You'll notice you have this little piece here. It's got the angle down and the spring. It has a little groove down inside there. I don't know if you can see it. But this little puppy right here will go down just like this, and the hook end will actually catch in the groove if I don't drop it out. It's always a lot easier to do it not around the camera, but if you just take that thing and just slide it up in there, it'll go all the way down. I don't know if you can see that, like so. And then your firing pin will just go down right in the groove on top. And this little cutout here will rest up against that spring, letting the firing pin go forward. So you'll just put that in the groove, slide it forward, and you have your pin that has to pin it in place. So you just take and line that up and drop your pin in, and the spring tension will hold it into place like so. Alright, now you've got this other spring. Like I said, you'll have to excuse me because I don't know the names of the springs. I just know how to take it apart. It will lay up against your piece like this, making that a closed off hole for the bolt stop to go through. And then this piece just slides down into this little groove. So your final product, after finagling around a little bit, will look like so. Alright, now we'll take the frame and we will slide our bolt in. See, it goes all the way in. And here's a little trick if you ever do take your barrel off. The biggest problem when people take these barrels off is it's got a little hook inside here. You have to drive the barrel off. You actually have to drive the barrel back this way to pop it out, and to put it back on you have to bump it back into place. And a lot of times people will not get these holes lined up. So here's a trick. You can just take your bolt stop and stick it in like so from the opposite end over top of your sight, so you can get the right angle. Because if you don't have these two holes lined up, you can't push a straight pin into a crooked hole. We know that. But anyways, it's a little tip for you. Maybe it'll save you a little grace from all your buddies, and you won't be going to the gunsmith with a bag of parts. You slide that in there like so. And what I like to do is I like to always make sure, I guess I need to get me a better flashlight. Make sure that lever is sitting on top. Not, because if you let the hammer go up, that pin will actually get on the back side of that and it'll cause you some nightmares. So just make sure that it's resting on top like so. And take your bolt stop, just kind of loosely hold it in place up inside your hole like so. And you'll just punch it away. This pick, pop it up into place like so. It will go all the way through. And if you can check your pin again one more time, you can see that pin in there. See how it's resting up against there? The gun cannot be assembled with it resting up there. It has to fit inside of this hole right here. So what I like to do is, as I'll fold this back, you can finagle it to where your pin is like so, and then you should be able to not have it lined up. It needs to be off just a smidge, like so. And I never have any problem with this until I'm around the camera, and then it's a royal pain in the arse. But if you see that little piece, like so, I don't know if I can, it has to lean up against this and go down into this hole. Once you get it all where it'll go in there, that'll just close, then I'll slap back, and if you've got it correct, your bolt will go all the way back. If it's not, if it's over that bar or not oriented in the right way, when you go to close it, it'll push your bolt stop back out. Or if you do manage to get it closed, your bolt will only open so far. So just pry that back open, take it, and just sit it up against here and pull it off just a little bit. And then you can close this. And we're back in business. She's ready to rock. So I hope that helps somebody out. You can see the bolt stop works, bolt release, whatever you want to call it. I hope that helps somebody out. Any questions, comments, concerns, PM me, and I'll try to get back to you. I hope that helps it. Don't be afraid of this thing, guys. Like I said, that's the main thing, is that little lever in here. It wants to lay up against this part or up against the bolt stop. You have to pull it off just a hair so it'll line up inside that hole, so everything will work just fine. But don't be afraid to work on your Mark II, and like I said, hopefully this will help somebody who's got a little frustrated, because the first time I took this thing apart, you know, I was frustrated, and after you do it a few times, you'll get used to it. It's nothing big. Biggest problem is if you take the barrel off, is getting those holes lined back up so the bolt stop can go all the way through both of them, because if this hole and this hole is not lined up, you'll never get that pin straight through. And in fact, a lot of people will actually take and make a hash mark on their frame and on their barrel assembly, to where they can just line those two lines up, so they know that theirs is in the right spot. And I haven't done that because I like the bolt stop through the top trick. That works good for me. But like I said, I hope it helps somebody out.